God bless everyone out there in radio land and in the internet world. This is Barry and Karen coming to you from Embrace Marriage Ministries, and they're on our Embracing Marriage Together podcast. You notice that we don't rehearse this stuff. So we've been doing that every day for so long. I say it in my sleep now. So, so we thank God for you joining us, all the different platforms. Also, if you're listening at this on audio, we thank God for you just listening to us on Spotify and Podbean. Also, we thank you for joining us on Twitch. Also, and YouTube, Periscope, and Mixer. Thank God for each and every one of you just coming in. Those that are gonna come in and join us. And if you're looking at us in a pre-recorded deal or after the fact, then we thank God for you just viewing us. So hit us with some likes, subscribes, and all this other stuff. Okay. We've been doing this lesson for a while, and we hadn't really done much as far as podcast wise. We've been trying to get our equipment together, kind of update you again what we're doing. Before I say that though, I want to announce that we're going to be doing on Saturday. We're going to be doing our charity stream, which is a 12-hour stream for Children's Miracle Network. I'm gonna tweet this out tomorrow. I'm gonna tweet it out until Saturday to all those. I'm gonna put it everywhere I can possibly put it, so we can see. We may make a flyer of some type, something that you can see to know that we're doing it. We're gonna be doing it on March the 30th, which is Saturday. It's like I said, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. It's gonna be a 12-hour stream. The first one ever I've done, so y'all pray for me, and we're gonna get through it. Well, I'm gonna do some of it until she get tired, and then I'm gonna do the rest. So we're gonna be doing that. So just be out for that. All we ask is just a support to host it that day. If you want to give to it, we have a link for it. Just put exclamation extra life in the chat, or you can just go to our. I think we have a link for it on Facebook. No, we have a link for it. I know for sure. I have to put a link on our website. I hadn't got a chance to announce it. I'm gonna put it on the website. You can go to our website, which is now embracingmarriagetogether.com. We changed the name not too long ago, so now it's I don't have to say that big long word anymore. So it's now embracingmarriagetogether.com. You can go there and check it out. Okay. This is part 3 of a lesson that we did on 8 ways to ruin a relationship, and we're going to kind of review some of it, and then we're going to finish it off tonight since it's part 3. We've been doing this lesson for a while and we haven't finished it. Let's see what else I want to say before that. Oh, man, I want to get to the lesson. I'll tell you the rest of that stuff later if I don't forget. Okay, 8 Ways to Ruin a Relationship is written by a guy named Dr. John M. Grohol. I've misspelled his name before and I had to correct it. I was trying to do it off the top of my head. He's the founder, editor-in-chief of the this blog site, which is on sitecentral.com. And I put the link in our YouTube, so if you want to go there and see the whole article, we'll put the link also in the description there so you can go see it. But it's 8 ways that to ruin a relationship. You ruin your relationship. The first I'll read them, and then we're gonna go to the ones that we're actually gonna do. We covered 1, 2, and 3, which was take your partner for granted, stop talking, stop expressing your feelings. And then we did 4 and 5, which was stop listening and kill the fun. And tonight we're gonna get on our favorite one. 6, nitpick. 7, threaten. Thanks for the follow. This on Jewel. Thank God for you, man. Thank God for you. Thanks for the follow on Mixer. And all you good folk out there on Mixer, you just growing and blowing. We appreciate you for just being with us. We hope we say or do things that'll be a blessing to you. Thanks for joining us in the stream, and also for the follows always appreciated. So now, also it says here, nitpick, number 7, threaten, number 8, ignore your partner. And that's the ones we're going to talk about. Nitpick. Everybody pretty much kind of knows what nitpick is, but we're going to go through what he says. He said, boy, am I guilty of this one? He says, I probably nitpicked a few past relationships into an early death, not because I wanted to, but because it was a personal concern whose impact I never fully understood until it was too late. Nobody likes to be told what to do or how to do it. You need to underline that, put stars by it, circle it, if you're looking at the article. While some people may be more open to suggestions, quote unquote, other from their helpful partner, it can also seem as nitpicking for little good reason. Let me reread that again. Nobody likes to be told what to do or how to do it. While some people may be more open to suggestions than others from their other helpful partner, it can also be seen as nitpicking for little good reason. Really, there is a better way to clean the sink. That's nice. Use it next time when you do it then. Wow. When I want to nitpick it nowadays, I just keep it in mind that if I want to go to the trouble of offering unrequested advice, I might as well suggest I do it myself. Or just do it next time myself without having someone needing to ask. Nitpicking may be a sign of needing to control others, but it may also be just a sign of the way some people were brought up. In any case, it's a bad habit, and one should try and curtail it in your relationship. Now, I was the nitpicker. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you. You from Australia. Well, I appreciate you from. Yes. We getting international now. We getting guys from Australia. Appreciate you,
welcome.
Jill. Welcome from the land down under. So, I used to nitpick. I'm not gonna lie, cause I was a nitpicker, due to the fact that I was raised that way. Now he says maybe the way someone was brought up. I was brought up. My mom nitpicked, and so I picked up that bad habit of nitpicking. I was particular about stuff, and I would fuss about every little thing, and I kept doing that, and it made my wife feel as though I didn't appreciate what she did. I would always nitpick about little stuff, about the dishes, about the house, about this, about that, about the kids, about this they wasn't doing, and what need to be done, and all this other stuff. Well, it made my wife feel like she wasn't really wasn't really pleasing me, or what's the better word to say?
It made me feel like that my best wasn't good enough, it made me feel like no matter what I did, he like I just couldn't please him. I couldn't satisfy him. I mean, looked like nothing was good enough. And I mean, it had got to the point where I was just so discouraged, and I was like, I wanted a divorce. Because
she didn't know, because she thought, well, I'm doing all this, and he acting as though.
Yeah, this the thanks I get.
Yeah. Well, that's something that a lot of people don't realize, is that when you do that, you really affect people the way when you do that.
Yeah.
And that's in any relationship. If you just nitpick about every little thing, you're going to have a whole lot of less friends. A lot of people are not going to be around you if you're that kind of person.
That's true.
They're not going to want to, they're not going to want to deal with you, because no matter what you do, they can't please you. No matter how, if they can't do it right, they can't do it the way you do it, what it is. Thanks for the host, Dr. Gamer.
Yeah.
No matter what you try, it's good. We doing our podcast now.
Yeah.
We're trying to finish this podcast up.
Yeah.
And but one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is that you cannot have a fulfilling relationship with anyone if you just pick out every little thing that's wrong.
That's it.
And like you say, it is a means of control. If they can say, okay, if I can get them to do it my way instead of doing it the way they're doing it, well, maybe for them, that's the best way to do it.
Right.
I had to realize that. I'm the one that was a dick picker. I had to realize that the way that she does things is different the way that I do things. And thank you. It took us a little work. We still got to tweak it, but thank you. It's because the fact is that it's for one person, but we trying to make it work. So thank God for it. Just on that, and that behind us, actually, you see in the green screen is the image of our new seal. We have a new logo, and it's our logo for our ministry. We had to make one, and so we made a brand new logo. And that's actually the image of it. We used it in the background, but it is nice.
Yeah, this is not the actual one because
it's not the actual one.
It's black. Birds and black.
Yeah, it's actually black and gold, but this was the one before that. So we kept it, so we use it as a background. But that's what it is, and so it matches our theme here. But anyway, like I said, the thing is that everybody's not gonna like you just picking out every little thing that's wrong in their life. You know, if I didn't, and here's the thing: if I don't ask for your advice, don't offer it.
True. That is so true.
That's the unsolicited advice is not advice that helps.
No.
It's just what it is. It's unsolicited. They didn't ask for it. They didn't want it. You come to the door knocking on, try to sell it to them. They're not buying. So I mean, don't if they do not ask, do not offer. That needs to be tweeted.
Yeah.
If they do not ask, do not offer when it comes to advice.
Yeah.
Because advice is given, not forced.
Right.
Because you can suggest stuff. You can say, hey, I have a suggestion if you're willing to listen to it. There's a way to convey what you want to say to people without coming across as nitpicking. You know, like he said, really, that's the way you clean things? I'll show you how to do it. This how you do it. Next time, do it that way. No, that's control.
That is control.
And you can't tell people to do stuff the way you do it if they're used to doing it the way that they do it.
Yeah, and that was our biggest downfall.
Yeah.
Because he wanted me to do things his way.
Yeah.
I wanted him to do things my way.
Yeah.
So we made each other feel like, well, okay, because it's not being done my way, it's not done the right way. So and it caused we clashed a whole lot, you know, because I had to, you know.
Hey Stars, what's up, man?
So and I'm like, I'm not you. That we always would just go there with that, you know. Well, I'm not you, and I ain't, you know, and we would just constantly. It was like a battle, cause I'm not you. I'm not raised like you, and we have to realize that, you know. And let me do, you know. I don't mind you suggesting, but we was going about it all the wrong way.
And we're talking about 8 ways to ruin a relationship. One of the ways that you can ruin a relationship, now you get not the only one, but right now you're probably one of the few. We got a few people that you're not gonna be by yourself for long, believe me. So we're talking about 8 ways to ruin a relationship. One of the ways is to nitpick on every little thing and look at everything that's wrong. So, but yeah, like you say, I was the one that did it, and I had to learn how to understand that what I did, the way I do things, and the way that she did things were different, and I had to allow her to be her, and not try to impose my own thinking and my own way I do things and my own background and teaching and whatever, try to impose that on her life, because the way that she, you know, I can't re-raise a grown person. This woman I met her, she had kids that were halfway out of the house, and she was older than me. So for me to come along and try to re-raise her would be improper, and it would be I'll be controlling the situation. You got a lot of guys, they try to control women in their relationship. You know, they tell them what to do, and they just let them just, you know, run over them, and you know, you got some that ain't gonna do that.
No.
But they got some that I've seen done. They, you know, they talk to them any kind of way, and they allow them to happen. See, you only let only reason why a lot of people do what they do to us is because we give them permission. We allow it.
Right.
So if we make a decision that I don't have to allow myself to be abused or be talked to any kind of way or be controlled, then you can get out of that situation if you really want to. You just have to make the decision that this is what I want to do. Anything you want to say before we go to 7?
Not pretty much.
That's it? Okay. Yeah. All right. Number 7. 7 for your proper people. 7. Threaten. 8 ways to ruin a relationship. Number 7, threaten. He says here, while threatening your significant other is such a turn on. Yeah. No, it's not. Whether you're threatening to leave, chop off a bit of anatomy, tell someone's parents, or find a better life in Maui, it's never a good sign for a healthy relationship. Threats are often made in an act of desperation or feeling like a situation is out of control. The threat is an attempt to regain control. However, threats are juvenile and more suited for children's temper tantrums than an adult, mature relationship. And that's the truth.
Right.
A lot of times when I say they do stuff like that, it's a sign of immaturity. A lot of people are immature in their lives because they do certain things that are immature. They hadn't really grown up in that area. And I know in my case, we went through a lot in the past. A couple of years ago, we was about to the point of us divorcing because we had gotten so bad in our relationship that we couldn't handle. We didn't know how to communicate. We basically did threaten, you know. She threatened to leave, and I threatened to leave, and tried to leave, and came back, and it was crazy. but we had to realize that that's a sign of immaturity with us. That we had to grow up and put our big kid pants on and deal with this relationship and the problems in this relationship head on. Because a lot of people, they don't deal with this stuff head on. They just skirt around it, and it just gets worse.
Yeah, and usually when you start making threats like that to leave or threat to divorce or whatever, to me it's just an easy way out. You don't want to deal with nothing. You don't want to face nothing. So it's just an easy way. It's an easy way out. So and I had to realize that, you know, I said, no, you know, you signed on for this, and for better or for worse. So I had to, you know, and I had to start saying that divorce is not an option for us. You know, and separation is not an option for us.
Yeah.
That, hey, we made these vows, we gonna stick to them.
Yeah.
You know, come hell or high water, we gonna stick with these vows. So we made up in our mind that, you know, no, we're not gonna threaten to leave each other. We're not gonna make threats to have our way and we won't. You know, because some couples do that.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people do that. You know, you make like just use for example, he make me mad, or he make me upset, or we might have a little war of words. And so we'll threaten, well, I ain't cooking, I ain't having sex. You know, you'll see people threaten not to have sex with their spouse.
Yeah.
And they'll withhold from them. That's dangerous. Or they, you know, well, I ain't cooking, I ain't washing your clothes, I ain't gonna, you know, just making all these threats what you ain't gonna do.
Yeah. And
it's nothing right about that.
No, because one of the things I believe that when we went through that, we never shirked our duties to one another. We never just said, you know, because we tried it and it didn't work. Because it's so, when you've been doing something for so long, even though you may not, at the time we may not have been like madly in love with one another. We didn't like each other for a minute, but we didn't stop taking care of each other. I still took her to work. You know, I still went to work. I didn't, you know, we still, you know, had relations. We ain't stopped. And we still she still cooked. because we both had to eat.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
she still get up and fix our food, iron her clothes, and we still did the same thing. We just run the autopilot, really.
Yeah, because like I say, because you know, you get mad, you get upset, and you do make these threats.
Yeah.
But you know, you say stuff out of frustration, you say things out of anger that you should not say.
Yeah.
So you know, a few times, you know, where things would get out of control, you know, he would say, "Well, I ain't taking you out no day," and I ain't do, you know. But I knew that he was just emotional, you know, not emotional, he was just upset or whatever he was, and so he would make those threats.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you don't have to. I go out by myself. And I'll put on my clothes and I'll get fixed up and I'll get dressed up and I just go. I say bye. And so you know, that was just my way of showing him, you know, I'm not finna let you threaten me and do these things to me. So we had to get to the point where we had to grow up, and we knew that it was immature to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and I would get upset and I would make threats and I ain't gonna do this and I ain't gonna do that. And I said, okay, you need to grow up, he need to grow up, and you know, and it will ruin a relationship.
Yeah.
So we had gotten to the point where we stopped making all these threats and stop making all these intervals and all this these things that we were doing that was causing us to have a destructive marriage. And to start doing things differently, start doing things God's way, because we realized, okay, well, this is not God and this is not the way of God. You know, like say we was immature and we needed to grow up.
Yeah. And that was something that we had to, once we got that revelation, we started to make some real changes. And we had to make some real wise decisions in how we handle one another and how we communicate what we wanted to each other instead of just threatening and doing all this other crazy stuff we was doing.
Yeah, because and I had to realize that I was being impatient. That was one of my greatest things. I think how a lot of my threats came about because because we were impatient. Because some things in his life I felt like that he needed to change, and he wasn't changing fast enough for me.
Yeah.
And I became impatient because I'm like, okay, why you keep doing the same thing over and over and over? I'm like, okay, now I'm looking like, okay, what's wrong with you? What's the matter with you? Why you keep doing this and why you keep saying that? Why we keep going through the same roller coaster? Yeah. You know, the same with me. So, and I became impatient because I'm like, okay, you know, I want you to change. I need you to change. Now let's do quick, fast, and hurt. And I had to realize that I wasn't walking in patience. Yeah. I was impatient, and he became impatient. He was frustrated. We both was frustrated because the only thing we wanted was things to change. Yeah. And we wanted them to change fast. Yeah. So, and that was me. Look, if I bring it up and I bring it to your attention, look, change, stop, don't do it no more. That's it, that's all. I don't want nothing else.
Yeah, that's how I was. And I was trying to rush to change my own self, and she would say, you know, she would tell me, now this is the one that was impatient. She would tell me, but it come to me, she was impatient. But it come to her, I had to be patient. Right. Yeah. See, that was the problem. When it came to her, I had to be patient. You know, well, it ain't gonna happen overnight, and there's gonna be some things that I just ain't gonna get over overnight. But when it come to me, you better get over that, because you should have been over that by now. See, you know, that don't make no sense, but you know, that's how you're thinking.
I'm the weaker vessel. Oh, yeah.
That's kind of stuff we was thinking.
The Bible said I'm the weaker vessel. Yeah. I'm gonna use the word.
Yeah, because that was
me would understand.
Yeah, I had to do some dwelling and some understanding, because it was a mess. Because I mean, the thing is, I looked at it like this. I said, well, you know, and it took us. Hey, what's going on, man? And so the only thing that got me was, I said, God bless you, God bless you. And what's the ticket to a healthy relationship? Now that's what we talking about. A ticket to a healthy one. We can give you one thing that you can for sure is to never. Hey, how y'all doing? To never to never stop loving one another no matter what. Never get to the point where you say, you know, you may get out the infatuation phase. You know, you feel like, well, we're not in love anymore. But I guarantee you, if you can go through some troubles, what's going on, Jedi? We thank God for y'all coming in, but to never give up on a relationship, to stay in it no matter. Now, if it's a situation, I'm gonna say this you take this with a grain of salt, because, like I say, we're not psychiatrists, we're not counselors. I like what somebody said, we're marriage champions. But we are ministers of the gospel, and we do counsel people. We used to counsel people. We was pastors at one time. We don't do that no more. We just tell you what we went through and how we come out of it. I tell you what happened to us. We just realized that we made the decision that we were going to stay together. And if communication is the key too. If your communication breaks down, that's when the relationship starts breaking down. When the moment that you can be not able to talk to one another, that's when the problems start. That's when you know that it's gotten bad. And we got to that point where we couldn't talk to each other. I didn't make any sense to her, and she didn't make any sense to me, and there was no communication either way. We were only hearing to respond, not hearing to understand. Yeah. And there's a difference. A lot of times when you hear people talk to each other, they only talk long enough, they only listen long enough so they can tell you what they want to say. And so you're talking over each other, because your thought comes in your head and you want to say it, but the person that's talking to you hadn't finished their thought yet. Right. So that's why you have to be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to get angry. You have to make sure that your temperament has to be where you can slow down and hear what the other person is saying. Instead of listening long enough so I can tell you what I need to tell you, listen to see what I'm saying. Because a lot of times, if you're not understanding what I'm saying, you're not going to be able to respond correctly. Because the Bible said that if the person that answers the matter before he hears it is a fool. So you don't want to be a fool just answering something before you even hear it through. So that's just how it is. So, yeah,
and
that's
another
the thing.
And another thing I would say is the friendship. Keep your friendship.
Yeah, that one too.
That's one thing we really that held us together is our friendship. Because you know we date. Yeah. We go on dates together. We like to. He used to shoot on pool tournaments, so we date. We go to the show, movies, and I'm old. The show. I know I'm old school. I'm born in them times.
She born in the '60s, so that's what they called the show back then.
Yeah, what I'm gonna say for y'all.
Movies.
To the movies.
Yeah.
So my grandkids just falls out, boy, when they hear me say that.
Yeah, they do.
And to the movies. So we go to the movies. We shoot pool. We do all kind of things. So just keep the friendship, the laughter, the fun, the excitement, enjoy one another's company, you know, and be each other best friends. I mean, I cry on his shoulder. We laugh, we joke. We've been in the, you know, walking around. They be looking at us like we be cracking up, laughing, and you might see somebody have on something look weird or dressing fun, and we'll be like, you know,
yeah, like big women in tights.
Yeah, and I mean, so
or something that ain't right. Yeah, so we do that.
That's one of the things that helps out a whole lot is the friendship, and let love be your solid foundation.
That's right. So that it's got to be the foundation of it.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to. One thing I had to learn this year was forgiveness. I had to. You're gonna have to forgive because you he's flawed. I'm flawed. He has shortcomings. I have shortcomings. So I had to learn how to forgive because I was a grudge holder. I would hold a grudge. Oh my God. And I would hold a grudge, and so I had to learn to be quick to forgive because you're not gonna be with a perfect person, and they are gonna say things. They gonna get on your nerves. They're gonna get on your bad side, and they might say or do something that you're gonna have to forgive them. You know, you can't hold it against them, and like he was saying earlier, make threats and all this stuff. So that is one of the things that's a healthy relationship is forgiveness.
That's right. Well, I hope that answered your question. That Fern, because that's what we had to learn from experience.
Yeah, this not nothing that we went. This was.
Yeah, this was something that we experienced and we went through and came out of.
Yeah, this ain't nothing nobody told us.
All right. Well, we got one more, and then we're going to just.
If y'all have any questions or answers or whatever.
Yeah, we have. If after we give you this last one, y'all have any questions, we can answer them pertaining to relationships or whatever, friendships, dating, whatever you need to talk about. That's what we most talk about. It's a little warm in here. But I say number 8, last one. We did 8 of them. If you want to see the ones, I can put them up here in the corner if you're looking at this on YouTube. If not, you can go to the last replays. I think it's 8 ways to ruin your relationship, part 1 and 2. We're doing 6, 7, and 8 right now, but this is 8. Last but not least, ignore your partner. There's one of the ways to ruin your relationship is to ignore your partner. They say that one thing worse than being hated by someone is to simply be ignored by them. Being ignored means a person doesn't even care enough to waste energy of anger on you. It's the same is true with relationships. If you take a lot of the previous tips and add them together, you have active ignoring. If you're ignoring your partner or vice versa for any period of time longer than a few days, that's a sure sign the relationship is in trouble. That's also what we call stormwater, and I did a lesson on that. I'll put that up there as well. If you don't hook up with a person only to be ignored by them. If anybody wants that, we'd simply go relive our high school prom. Oops, I shared too much. The good news is that these signs don't necessarily mean that your relationship is over. There is always hope, especially when both of you recognize some of these signs and decide well you want to reconnect to try and grow your relationship. If you can't do that on your own, and a weekend getaway may be good way to try, don't fret. Although it may sound scary or extreme, think about it. It's exactly what couples counseling is for. Any good couples therapist can help most couples improve their relationship. Just a few sessions, although it may take more than for a few, depending upon the seriousness of the relationship. Talk to your partner about your concerns and seek help if your own personal attempts to help prove the relationship don't work out. I believe a great number of relationships have the possibility of being saved if the partner is committed to working on changing it, then taking action. Now, I'm gonna say 2 things about what we just read. One, we was talking about that. We was driving and talking about that. As a matter of fact, we was talking about validation. We was referring to how a lot of women in their appearance, a lot of them do it for attention.
Right.
And we got in the subject of how some people, all human beings, like you just said here, they want to be validated. They want to be recognized, not ignored.
Right.
A lot of times, especially females, a lot of times they lack that because they don't have a strong male figure in their life, or they don't have a real male figure in their life that can impart into them. Because usually when they do speak to him, a male does, and they have not been validated by either father or a male figure in their life that was positive. They don't understand that, so they take it as them wanting them, because the simple fact is that they don't understand it. They don't understand that that a lot of times because the other men that's come into their life, they have taken from them, so they usually want something from them instead of imparting something to them. It's a difference when you have someone that comes in your life and speak into your life to open up your destiny and to make you come into the place where God has for you to be, instead of someone coming into your life and robbing you of your destiny and the person that you are to be. That's just the same with us as men. We would desire to have a male another man to speak into our lives and to tell us that we're worth something, that we're men, that validate manhood, to tell them that you're a man now.
Right.
Because a lot of times we have sons that have grown up without fathers to tell them that they're men, and they try to be men without fathers. And they never, and then they become a father, and all they are is sons with children, basically.
That's good.
So when you're, it's a difference between you being fathers and then sons with children, because you have a man that has not been validated, doesn't know how to validate another man and to tell him you're a man, because he doesn't understand how being a man is, because he never had a man to tell him that he is one. Same with a woman. He had a mother that told him that he was a good son, but he never had a father that could tell him that he's a man. So that's why you got men that are being women because they've been validated by women that tell them that they're good. You're a good guy, a good man, and then they try to be nice to women and you try to feminize him instead of making him who he is to be. Not
right.
And we in an age now where the lines are blurred as to what your identity is. People have lost their identity. And so we have to understand what your identity, you have to know who you are, and you have to have someone to speak into your life and tell you who you are. But to be ignored is the worst thing than death itself. I'd rather you yell at me and get it out your system than to ignore me. Because that's how some people feel, that when you get to the point where you ignore the person that you're with, you no longer have a relationship.
Right.
It comes down right from under you. So what we have to do is we have to realize is that the only way that you're going to make a relationship work is that you have to put the work in. You have to be a person willing to do what it takes to make it work. A lot of times today we're going to have people that are committed.
Yeah, right.
And because of the fact that we don't have any commitments, we don't have people that's going to stick it out to the end. I've seen people get together, they've been together to cohabitate for years and get married and be together for months. And then I've seen people being together for years, and after the kids are gone and after they graduated and all of them gone to college, they divorce. I've seen people who lost spouses. I had a woman that I worked with. She told me out of her own mouth that she was, after them kids was out the house, that she was going to leave her husband. A year later, he died.
Wow.
On the operating table. She was going to leave him as soon as the kids had graduated. A year later, he passed. Died on the operating table. Went to a surgery, died on the table. And she was finna divorce him. He didn't even know it.
Man.
So this is the kind of society that we're living in. This is the life that you have now. So it takes us, strong couples, to stand up and say, hey, marriage is still a divine institution. And I remember saying this to someone today. Whenever you take something that's divine and make it common, you lose the respect of it. When that's why people tried to bring God to their level and make them like them instead of us coming to his level and being like him.
That's it.
So that's the problem that we have. God, that's the divine institution that God has designed, but we take it and try to bring it down to our level and redefine it. And whenever you redefine something and make something that's divine common, you take away its fear, you take away its respect, you take away what it is. The sacredness of it goes. It's no longer sacred. It's just like any other place. House of God is no longer sacred. It's an auditorium, not a sanctuary. There's no sacredness anymore because people have lost the fear of God in every area of life. I don't mean to start preaching, but I wanted to end this like this. But I want to encourage you. If you want to, like I say, see the rest of them, the best way that you can bounce back from this is do reverse of every single thing. So let's just go back. If you want to fix your relationship, this is what you could do. Don't take your partner for granted. Number one. Don't take. How long we been married? Been married about 21 years. Number two, start talking. Yeah. Talk to your partner. Number three, start expressing your feelings. You know. Number four, start listening. Number five, have all kind of fun.
Yes.
6, don't nitpick. 7, don't threaten. And 8, don't ignore your partner. Right. So if you do all those in reverse, I guarantee you will see a difference in the way that you deal with each other.
Yeah, you have better results.
Yeah, better results.
Because when I can speak from experience when he say don't ignore your partner, because that was my thing. Because I guess because I was already kind of quiet by nature, and I'm the type if you hurt me, if you offend me, I will shut down and go silent.
Yeah.
Without question. So I had to learn to start being more vocal and start saying, you know, how I felt and express my feelings. I would ignore him. I think when we first got married, I wouldn't ignore him. I would go 3 days without saying a word to him. We would pass each other by like ships in the night. So that I did have to learn.
I'm gonna answer it, Brooklyn. Soon as she
I had to learn, you know, not to do that because it wasn't healthy.
That's right.
And I had to learn to express myself. But I would just hold it all in and hold it all in. I wouldn't say nothing, and I would ignore him. I would act like he wouldn't even exist.
Yeah.
So and that's not good.
No.
And it's not healthy. So now I express myself. He probably hates now, but but now you know I express myself and I say, you know, and share how I feel, and it worked out better because that was, I had to realize that it wasn't a right thing to do.
That's right. To answer y'all question, if y'all have any, well, we done with the lesson, but if you have any questions, you can ask us. So how long we've been married? We've been married 21 years. This year will be 21.
Yeah.
We got married on June the 7th. In '98. We were engaged only 3 months.
Yeah.
And we knew that God put us together, and we got together. We married in our pastor's study. We neither one of us had any money we had to borrow for our license. I didn't have a job at the time. I didn't get one until after I got married. We had a rough start. We was up and down. We're a blended family. I married her. She had kids. They were teenagers and preteens at the time, and I had no children, so I became a father and a husband at the same time. So yeah, we been together for a good minute. Whose idea was it to stream? Actually, I've been doing this myself. I'm a podcaster. I'm not a streamer, but I'm a podcaster. I've been doing this for like a decade, about 10 years. I started about 08.
Yeah, but you started doing Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah, I did. I started doing a thing called Blog Talk Radio, and I started in 08, and I've been doing this over a decade. My wife is my second co-host. I did it for about 6 or 7 years by myself. Then my brother was my co-host, and we did it for about a year?
Yes.
So we did it a year, me and him. And so then my wife, we've been doing it now for about 2 years. Me and my wife. We decided we used to have a ministry of our own before. My brother was the third wheel in that. We ended up turning it over to him. We totally scratched the whole design. We rebuilt this from the top. We realized that marriage was our ministry because the simple fact is that we went through hell in our marriage, and then we began to counsel other people, and we was in marriage ministry, and we seen the shine in that in the church where we were. So we say, you know what, this is what God wants us to do, and we decided, well, we're gonna take all the talents that we have, because I like the game too, and she likes we like to. I like the podcast. I wanted to use all our talents, and she did a lot of artwork in the beginning, which some of that stuff we still keep, like this theme, this picture with me and her. She did that. Only thing, and we sat down. Everything you see, we created together. But she got a chance to use her talents. I got a chance to use mine. We just took everything and put it all together, and this is how we is. So the idea for the marriage ministry was came from a vision that God had given us. Mm-hmm. We came up with Embrace because that's what God told us to do.
Right.
He told us to embrace our marriage, to first embrace God, embrace love, and embrace marriage. That's our motto for our ministry. He gave us that and told us to embrace it and to bring it into embracing marriage. And then my wife, we decided, well, we're going to use this as our platform. This is our pulpit. Y'all our congregation. You know, she's the first lady. So, you know, this is our church, man. This is what we do. We do this. We don't do it as often as we should, but we do it enough so y'all know we're there. And so we have two sides of it, which is we have this podcast, and we also which we do with marriage and family in this podcast, and then we have our gaming part, which is Embrace Gaming, and that's what we do on that. We use that as a platform to minister as well. So the thing is,
and then the Dare to Be Different.
Well, that's the podcast. They both together. So this one and the other one is that's the podcast we do. And so the thing is, we've been doing, like I say, it's just something that we decided. Okay, we decided to use this platform because I already had it. So she never went live. I did partly live and partly pre-recorded. We did it pre-recorded for a few weeks before we decided to go live. Her first live when we did it on the lesson called Don't Say You're Sorry, Ask for Forgiveness. So we taught on forgiveness. And we did that. And it turned out pretty good. We had a lot of people come in. We blessed somebody in their marriage, and we helped somebody actually during that time. And so we've been doing this for a while. Be going on 2 years now. Yes. And so we've been ups and downs, and the enemy really fought us in this area, because whenever you minister in a certain area, that's where you can get fought the most, because the enemy's going to try to discredit you and make you look like, okay, you know, you're not that wonderful as you say you are. Y'all talking about marriage, and y'all marriage is messed up too. Oh yeah, we know that. He don't have to tell us our marriage is messed up at the time, but it's not now. Our marriage is restored. Our marriage is constantly being restored. We're learning how to communicate. We're learning how to be friends again. We're learning how to let stuff go. We still got some stuff that we work through personally, but as far as us together, I mean, we getting it together, and the enemy keeps trying to find a wedge, but he can't do it. Whenever you make up your mind that you're going to commit and do this thing the way God wants you to do it, because it can succeed, just like you say. If you need to be counseled, that's fine. We tried that. Didn't work too well for us. Not saying it did not, what they said didn't help. It was stuff that we already knew. And then we didn't really want to go and sit down and hear somebody tell us something we already know. Because basically that's what it was doing. Everything they said, we knew. And God was showing us that for a reason. He said, you know this stuff. All you got to do is do it. Everything he told y'all know. We tell the people the same exact stuff that he was telling us. So I was like, okay.
All we need to do is just apply. Stop being so stubborn.
Stop being stubborn and apply what we already knew.
And want to disprove, who's right, who's wrong, want to get your point across. So we had to just get past all that pride. It basically, we just had to just drop the pride and humble ourselves and just do it.
That's it. Just do it. So, anybody have any other questions before we go off? Because we enjoy just chatting with y'all, and we thank God for y'all just being with us. If you don't have any, if you do have questions and you can't ask here, you can go to our website. You can click on that link in our website, which is embracingmarriagetogether.com/contact. I'm gonna put that up so y'all can see that. I think I changed that. I hope I changed it, because we had to go back, and because when we got the thing, Oh, it's the prayer request. I think it's on prayer. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. So if you have a prayer request, or if you have questions, or you like to ask us some stuff that you don't want to ask us on stream, that's how you can contact us. We used to have a Discord. We got rid of it due to personal reasons, but we had a website. Why not use it? So that's our website. That's our way you go. You go to bracingmarriagetogether.com/contact. It's going to be a thing that you can fill out, where you can go and actually it'll come to us. Those good come straight to us in our email, and we get it as a form in email, and it'll be a question. So if you have any questions that you would like answered, you have any concerns, we do respond, and we can share what we have experienced, and just like I say, just take it like this. Just we want you, if it's beyond something that's beyond, we gonna recommend you go get some help. Okay, by a licensed professional, and we can recommend some people because we know some folk. We do. So, but if you're not in a relationship and you just have questions about how to about us and about how we got together and what does it take to date and being in this age or whatever, just whatever. You have concerns about life and stuff and whatever. We just ask us. Just as long as it's something that we can answer and it's not vulgar and crazy. Don't send us no pictures because we gonna delete them. So send us only your email, only your questions. If you have prayer requests that you can't express, we can do that. Okay, so we thank God for y'all listening to us ramble on about us and eight ways. Like I said, I'm if you're looking at this on YouTube, I'm gonna put it up in the video. Link to the actual other 2 videos at the end screen. You're gonna see the 2 and put them up. The one that we just did and the one before that, where you can see what we actually do. So if you want to go there, you can go to our website. That's where we have all our different contacts and platforms where we are. We're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on we was on Facebook. They kicked us off. We're on YouTube, we're on Mixer and Twitch. So if you want to check out the audio version we're on Spotify, so you can go look under Embracing Marriage Together, Dare to Be Different. That's where it's at. So you type that, type Embracing Marriage, and it'll pop up. We're the only one with that name as far as I know. So we thank God for y'all, and hit us with some likes. If you're looking at us on Twitch, you can hit us with a follow. If you're looking at us on Mixer as well, hit us with a follow. You're looking at us on Periscope, hit us with some hearts. Let us know how you think in the comments, and hit some likes. Subscribe, like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Let us know what you think as well. Well, let my wife say her closing remarks, and we're gonna have the benediction by my wife. We're gonna get out the way.
And I just like to thank all of y'all for joining us on tonight. And I would like to say to you, embrace God, embrace love, embrace marriage, embrace one another, and dare to be different.
All right, God bless y'all.
And good night.